Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me are 4-H kids and a mom. So what we have with us, we have McKynlee Cook, Noah Kisner, and Maria Kisner. We're going to talk about 4-H kids today. And I was looking that up on the web, and I thought I knew everything about 4-H. I know nothing about 4-H. I didn't know, and was surprised that we have 6 million kids involved in 4-H. Did you know that? You have brothers and sisters, 6 million of you involved in 4-H programs in our country. And that's great. The fair is coming up, so the 4-H kids are involved a lot in the fair. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yep. So Noah, let me ask you first. How did you get involved in 4-H?
Well, my mom, she's a volunteer at the fair, so I've been coming since I was little. And I was finally old enough to have animals, and I decided to show. Yeah. And I enjoyed it, so I kept going.
Kept going. That's it. Once you enjoy something, you keep going. So what kind of animals do you have?
This year I have 2 pigs, and that's it. So just a barrow and a gilt.
Well, what is that? Who in the world knows anything about pigs? Do I look like... I mean, I eat pigs, but I don't know. Maybe. Tell us about your pigs.
We raised them ourselves.
Right from little piglets?
Yes, we bred them with our mama that we have at our farm.
Right, okay.
And she had them, and she had about 7 babies. And we sold the rest of them and kept 2 for the 4-H year. So
have you fattened them up real well, or?
We've been working on it.
They say pigs can get really big. I was looking on the internet, and they had this gigantic, filled the whole back of the truck up.
They can. McKinley's sow is pretty big.
Yeah.
550 pounds.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of feed you fed that hog.
Yes.
Oh, what's a hog and a pig? Tell me what the difference is there.
Not really, just fancier words.
Oh, French.
Gilt and barrows are the genders. Gilt is a female and barrow is a male.
All right. Well, see, they know more than I do about pigs. And you learned this in 4-H. Do you have a farm? Do you live on a farm?
Their farm.
Oh.
I don't live on a farm. I want to live on a farm, though.
No, you do, huh? Okay. Well, how'd you get involved in 4-H?
Same. My mom was involved with the fair, and they had the farm, so we were talking to them about it, and then that's basically how I got started.
Yeah. And you just show up, and they start helping out, and then you kind of get the hook, right? Yeah. You know, my kids, that was a long time ago, would go to the fair and participate in a lot of the crafts and different things that goes on there. And it's just amazing that I think there's a whole culture that just doesn't know anything about the fair and 4-H. Yeah. It's really a shame, isn't it?
It is. And we still have all of the crafts this year that they can come out and enter as well. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. The fair starts like real soon, like the 31st,
July
isn't it?
31st.
Yeah. So what are you going to do next year?
I think that I might take a break from 4-H, but I'm definitely going to keep going and be involved in 4-H.
Okay.
I'm still going to raise pigs and everything.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. There's a whole lot to know about pigs. I've been reading up on them, and I'm surprised that I didn't know anything about. They're a lot of work, and you got to really watch them.
They are a lot of work. And these kids started out needing lots of help with, from the adults on the farm, and now they can do almost everything on their own.
Yeah. I heard pigs make really good pets.
They do. They're almost like dogs.
I was going to say you can train them and domesticize them. Is that the word?
Domesticate?
Domesticate.
Yes.
That's the word. Domesticate pigs. And as long as you keep them in diet, they stay pretty clean. You know, pigs like to walk. Do they really like to waller in the mud? I mean, is that something they like?
Yes, they love to do that to cool off.
Is that how they do it? Interesting. I just thought I'd seen that only in cartoons. You know.
Yeah. No.
All right. So what are you going to do this year? What do you have?
I have 3 pigs, 3 lambs, and a goat.
Well, you go in big time, don't you? These women are going to take over the world. I'm telling you. All right. So what are you doing? You showing them? What happens when they do all that?
So I'm keeping one of the pigs, one of the lambs for breeding to help make more babies to sell, and then the rest of them I'm going to sell at the fairgrounds during the auction.
Yeah. And they get pretty good money for those things. I know some people that buy them all the time, and the prices are pretty well inflated. because they want to, encourage the kids to keep going.
It does, and they save their money and use it for their next year's projects, or save their money you're saving up for hopefully a farm truck one day.
Yeah. I can just see him. He's a pickup kind of guy. I can tell already. 4-wheel drive, F-150. That's the kind of guy he is. All right. See? So what are you going to do? Are you involved in other things than just the fair type stuff? Because 4-H has tons of programs for kids.
They do have tons of programs. So they are particularly in the livestock club. There's also a club about horses. There's Clover Buddies, which are like, you're not quite old enough to be a 4-H'er yet. Right. You guys just both got back from 4-H camp.
Well, I was going to say, I was reading that the 4-H, I use the words kids because that's kind of how 4-H talks about it, is really a mentoring leadership program to really get young people on a path to, for their future. Do you see that? Are they teaching you things and you think you become a little better person because of 4-H?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be a farmer as a career when I grow up.
Yeah. You're going to work over there with Timmy French. You know Timmy French? Oh, he's over in Shenandoah. He's going to be our new senator from the state of our district for the state. So he's a farmer.
Okay.
That's right. So see, there you go. Start off as a farmer. Now he's going to be a senator, a Virginia state senator right here in Shenandoah County. He's got a big operation over there. It's great. How about chickens? You guys get involved in chickens?
Not that much, but there are tons of chickens on the farm.
Everybody wants chickens in town. They want to get their 6 hens and start.
Yeah.
And when they start laying eggs, all of a sudden they got more eggs than they know what to do with.
True, but it's cheaper than a grocery store.
Oh my God, can you imagine the price has gone up with chickens? I think it appreciates with all the pain that they give you. All of a sudden, hey, I'm doing okay. So what's the hardest thing about raising these pigs?
Well, it's just a lot of work in general. Some days will be really easy. Some days it'll be really hard. You get so muddy, you have to take showers every day.
So this is over the summertime. What about during the school year? How do you handle that?
During the school year, we don't really have animals because the 4-H year is from like April. You get your animals in April, and then you sell them in August.
Okay, so it's a small period of time. But if you're getting them as little tiny animals, you got them different times of the year. So what grade are you in?
I'm going into 7th.
7th grade, and how about you, Noah?
I'm going into 8th grade.
Yeah, 8th grade. And where do you live at? What county?
Warren.
Warren?
Warren
And
County.
where do you go to school at?
I go to Warren County Middle School.
And you?
I'm homeschooled.
Oh, you were homeschooled. Oh, that's big.
Yeah. And there is a longer period if they were to have cattle. So that
You
would
could
start
do-
a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Because they're normally born in April, and then
You get them in like
buy
October.
them in October, and then you have them for the full year until
Yeah. You got to do a lot to fatten them up. I know
Yes.
people that have cattle, they get into it thinking they'll be gentlemen farmers, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
So what? Just go over and just talk about what did you really learn this year, do you think?
Well, I learned how to artificially inseminate my hog,
Oh, they good.
and I learned how to help the hog in the birthing process.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I watched Dr. Pole.
Yes, we
Is he-
love Dr.
Dr.
Pole.
My mother-in-law, when she lived with us, that was on 24/7. I think. I know that Emily was on Dr. Pole. She worked here in Warren County. I don't know if she's still here or not, but
I'm not sure if she's still here or
but she
not,
worked for Dr. Pence here, right in Warren County. So that was kind of interesting.
That
I
was
thought that
pretty
was
cool.
kind of cool. Yeah, but Dr. Pole, he helping them cows. He put that back.
Yep,
I guess you do the
kind
same
of.
with pigs, huh?
Not really. It's different with hogs. Most of the time, they'll do it by themselves.
Right.
But with my hog, the first baby got stuck, so we almost had to reach in there and grab
Yeah.
it. But she was able to push it out before we had to do that.
Yeah. They're pretty. This has been going on before man started helping them out. How about you?
This year, learned that if you take 2 whips down to your pig, which it's what you use them to make them move.
Right.
If you take 2 down and put marshmallows, marshmallow cream at the end and hold it up over their face, they'll want to put their head up and that makes their muscles look bigger and it makes them look better. People want to buy them.
Yeah. I was going to say. So that's what they do. How do they grade these? How do they grade your pigs when it comes time for auction? What do they look for?
meat and fatness mainly, so that they have a freezer full of meat at the end of it.
So that but that's beyond just how much they weigh. If weight is similar, what else they look at?
So they look at like the muscle tone or fatness of the hogs or the other animals as well. They have a professional grader come out, and so that grader kind of imagines what it would look like as like a hanging carcass meat, and grades them based upon that.
How do you fatten them up? What do you feed them?
I use Sunglow from Evergrow for my market hogs, which gives them what they need, but doesn't really ruin the meat quality, so that you still have good meat.
How about you? Same thing?
Now I'm using the same thing, but I used to be using Hog Developer because they were born a little bit later than everybody else's pigs, so we had to
move them along. Huh?
Yeah, way quicker than everybody else.
We bought a hog, or I had a lady that worked for me years ago, and she raised hogs up in Clark County. And her neighbor worked for the dairy, so he brought home the milk every day, and they fed that hog. And I was going to make ham. After I tasted that thing, that pork just melted in your mouth. I guess milk must be the magic elixir on feeding the hogs. Do you ever heard that? I mean, have you ever fed them milk?
I have heard that.
Yeah.
That
you can't afford milk, but if you can get it from the dairy for free, then that's...
Yep, that's true. That is
true.
True.
They still slop hogs? That's always something I heard. Got to go out and slop the hogs.
Yeah, for your like home raised ones, they still will, but not for like the show animals.
Yeah. Right. So you're out there and you buff them up and you clean them all up and wax them down real good. And how do you do that? How do you get ready for the show?
So, we clean the pigs off either that day or the day before, and then when it's a couple minutes before we show, we take a brush, we brush them off, and then we put this thing called Show Glow on them. Which is like baby oil and makes them shine, so like their muscles and the fat looks better.
Yeah, right.
And then we take them into the show ring, show them around, and they'll judge them based on either if it's showmanship, on how we look and how the pigs look and how they move around, if they listen.
Yeah, I was going to say I think the person showing them is judged as well, right? They want to see if you know what you're doing.
There's a showmanship class and a market class, which market is based off the animal, showmanship is based off the owner.
So if you can get your pigs to do a little trick here and there, it kind of gives you a few extra points.
Yeah.
So what kind of neat things have you taught your pigs?
With the marshmallow stuff to get their head up, that just shows off their muscle and body type and stuff.
Yeah, once they taste that, they want more of it, don't they? Yeah.
And it's a little bit harder with the goats and sheep. You have a little bit more to do before the fair.
Yeah.
As far as shearing
you have
and
to
trimming.
shear them
You
down.
give them a haircut and polish their nails and do all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Well, you're learning a lot. I think it's cool. So where do you see you're going? You're going to be on a farm? You think that's what you want to do? Be a farmer?
Yeah.
That's great. That's something that's missing in our country. Family farms are disappearing.
It is.
And they're building houses on farms, and they're like pushing them farther and farther out. I don't think I'd want a dairy farm. I think that's 8 days a week work. That's what I hear. I know people that did that, and you got to milk them.
That's true.
Even if you got a machine, you got to milk them.
And regular farming never stops either. Whether there's
no
rain,
holidays.
blizzard,
That's right.
Farming is every day.
And I don't think people don't really appreciate what our farmers do. We think we're going down to Martin's and Walmart. That's about as far as we know where our food comes from. But we don't realize that, this kind of stuff that you're doing happens all around the world. And we have a world distribution system that you can literally buy any kind of farm product year round, and because of hard work and we do have some corporate farms, but it's farms like what these young guys are going to be having is what really feeds America.
Agreed. And I feel like 4-H kind of instills that in them too, whether they want to stay as a family farm one day or if they do want to go into big production.
Right. It's a good work ethic you guys are learning, I think, young, because you're seeing the reward at the end of the fair, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. And you make them do their own work? You don't help them out too much?
They do their own work. They get help if they need it, for the harder tasks.
Right.
But they clean their own pens. They water and feed their own animals. They train their own animals. They get help with that if they're unruly.
Right. And they can be stubborn. Pigs can be stubborn.
Yeah, all animals can
Well,
be stubborn.
all people can
That's
be
true too.
This year, my goat is really stubborn, so you have to set them to where their legs are like rectangular, and he does not like to do that.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
You know, they always say you can't make a horse drink, but remember, you can put salt in their oats,
And then they'll want to drink.
want to drink.
Yes.
So put that marshmallow, beat them. You know, like you said, they say catch more flies with honey than you do. Yeah. So that's what you got to do. We all that way. We like to be incentivized, and so you encourage them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
So what are we going to do next? You getting ready for the fair? It's going to be July 31st. By the way, the fair is July 31st here in Warren County. It lasts a week. They've got events going on every day, something new.
Every day.
They've got, you know, if you're not into animals, they got tractor pulls and demolition derbies and
a rodeo this year.
A rodeo, and they're going to have a musical concert on the 30th, I think.
30th, yeah.
30th, and so there's just so much stuff going on. In fact, between now and time school starts, there's almost a fair every week somewhere in our area.
There is. Yep.
And then the state fair.
Yep.
So you guys go to the state fair?
I never brought my animals to it, but I went last year, and I think it'd be a cool experience for me to do.
Yeah.
It's a whole new level of stuff.
What do your friends think of this stuff that are not in 4-H?
My friends just love coming to the farm and seeing all the stuff that we do, and they'll help me sometimes when they come down because they're very interested in stuff like that. And my one friend is thinking about joining.
Yeah, so you're a recruiter for 4-H. See, that's what you do. How about you? What are your friends in school? I got to get home, feed my pigs, and take care of my animals. Or you get up early before school and.
Usually with the pigs, you just have to feed them once a day, water them.
Oh, okay.
But if you did do cattle, you'd have to feed them twice a day.
Yeah.
And they think it's pretty cool. I'll show them pictures and stuff,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Oh, it's so cute." Or,
Yeah. You know they're chick magnets. You can use them little piglets. Them girlfriends you get will just love them, right? I'm like, well, no, tell the truth. Not guys so much, but girls will be. Oh, they're so cute. Put little bows on them. Get them all dressed up cute. Take some pictures. Show them around. He's not getting it, is he?
No, he's not ready for that just yet.
Mom's saying, he's thinking to himself, man, what you don't know, Mom.
Yeah.
Look, it's Noah and McKynlee. It's nice talking to you. I hope good luck at the fair.
Thank you.
And we've got quite a few animals that already, lined up to go. So hopefully you come out on top. And
Absolutely. The livestock auction is August 4th. Registration starts at 6, and
That's
the
like
auction
next
starts
week.
at 7. Yeah,
that's the week of the fair, right?
not
before
next week, but the week after, yeah.
right at the end of the
Yeah.
fair. So
2 weeks from today.
Yeah. Well, take pictures and send them to me, and we'll put them up in the Royal Examiner. Let people know how you did. How's that?
All right.
Stand there with your blue ribbon, and they give ribbons still.
They do still give ribbons. They have chances to earn quite a few other prizes as well, belt buckles or trophies or banners.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I can just see Noah going to school, got his cowboy boots on and that big old buckle.
Yeah. Would you wear it to school?
I'm not sure. Usually I just wear regular clothes, don't wear jeans.
But when he gets that farm truck.
But he would, yeah.
Yeah, when he gets that truck.
At the fair.
Yeah, he'll be down there at 15 months, 7 months at DMV. See, my grandson he's 18, doesn't even have a driver's license yet. Oh, I don't need one. But I can see he'll be there.
I think he'll be there the day he can.
That's right. I know for sure. He looks like he will too. I know she will.
Yeah, that's his goal. When he can have a driver's license, he can have a steer.
Ooh.
So, because then he can drive down and feed it twice a day.
Yeah, and you can haul it to the fair. See.
He could.
All right. Well, again, McKynlee, Noah, Marie, it's so nice, so much. Nice, bloop. It's been great talking to you.
Great talking to you, too.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.